Hello guys, how are you doing? So, welcome back to my reactions, and as you can see I'm going to be watching episode 7 of the volume 7 of RWBY today. So, in this last episode we saw so many moments, and I mean, we saw some good ones and some bad ones, and it was like painful to watch at some point, mostly because we saw them being framed, and it wasn't really like pleasing to watch. So, it was like a really complicated situation. It was like a lot of mixed feelings, and we saw this big moment that most people were waiting for, and we finally saw Nora confessing herself to Ren, and in like a more obvious way. I mean, she just kissed him, and that whole moment was so beautiful. And then unfortunately everything just went dark pretty fast, and I mean literally, I mean, they just cut the lights out, and they decided to go along with their plan, and Tyrion and Watts, and it basically worked perfectly for them, and unfortunately for our friends. So now they're basically being framed for killing this girl that was in this voting, and yeah, things are not looking good at all in Mantle right now. I mean, they have all the right to think that it was the like Atlas doing this. I mean, they don't know the truth like we know, so they're gonna do something about it, and we just see that the war is probably about to happen. And yeah, it's not going to be an easy time for Ruby and her friends, and also for Penny. We saw just how affected she got by the end of that, and like the look on her eyes, like she was not believing what was happening, and how she was being framed for having done something that she didn't do. So yeah, it's really a shame, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Jacques won the election apparently, so that's already a really bad thing. And now they need to do something to like to prevent some more bad things from happening. Like they need to stop these people in Mantle and make them like it's probably not going to be easy, and they need to do it like in some sort of way. But I don't know how they're going to gain the trust of Mantle. I mean, it's going to be really hard for all of these people in Mantle to like fully believe these guys like Ruby and like her team basically, and all of her friends, and these people in Atlas. It's going to be really hard for them to just like accept anything they say. So yeah, I'm also curious to see what Yang, Blake, and Weiss are up to, since they were somewhere else while that was happening. So I'm expecting this episode to show a bit of that, and how they're dealing with this whole situation. I mean, I don't know if they were aware of the state of this election, like who won and all of that. So if they are not aware of what happened, it's gonna be a big surprise for them to just see the city in a rampage. So yeah, it's going to be probably a really tense episode, and things are going to get way more serious from now on, most likely. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, I hope you guys are ready, and let's start the episode. Really not a good episode for Penny though. And I mean for all of her friends. All of the ones who were just framed. It really sucks when these things happen. I don't know how they're going to stop Jacques and Watt and Tyrion, but they need to do it. I mean, they're aware now that Tyrion is there, and they should be aware that Watts might be as well. Wonder if someone new will appear as well. I mean someone we didn't see in this volume yet. I had the idea that Cinder and Neo were going to be appearing much sooner, but it didn't happen yet. We were able to meet some new guys though, so that was really good. And yeah, the other girl died, unfortunately. And this one in the election lived and didn't win. But yeah, it was a really sad moment to see. Yeah, let's see what happens in this one. Maybe a better one. Of course, we start with Penny. Must be so affected.
Citizens of Mantle, following the most recent grim attack, a temporary prohibition of assembly is now in effect.
Damn.
There are to be no public gatherings of any kind. Please conduct your business and return to your homes before curfew.
Using force to stop
This
this.
is for your own safety.
Hey,
It's probably it's for the best. I mean,
stop running. Wait.
No military officials have gone on record to say the footage.
it can't hurt them though.
Many citizens are still insisting that the protector of Mantle be deactivated.
Yeah, that sucks because she was like the hero of Mantle, and now she's being targeted. There's this one.
Civilian, you are obstructing an Atlas military operation. Please step aside.
Everything all right over here?
They're gone.
Hello?
Like how? Ooh. What is this? Damn. That's a nice power. I mean, a nice semblance. What the?
This is the worst case scenario. More people are dead. Penny's been framed, and
Did she store the truck in a, like a
Jacques is
capsule?
sitting on the council.
That's the second shipment for Amity that was
In
hit
their
today.
ends.
It seems election night was the last push Robyn needed to go from hometown hero to full-on vigilante.
I'm afraid the
Yep.
problem is more complicated than that.
It seems Robyn has emboldened our suppliers in Mantle. They're refusing to sell us provisions until the city is adequately repaired. With Robyn redistributing the goods her team has stolen, the Amity project is completely stalled.
But we're so
Damn.
close. There has to be some way we can finish the tower.
There is. Declaring martial law.
Oh shit.
You're not actually considering that, are you?
What's more important? Establishing communication to unite the world? Or appeasing a few city blocks?
Don't make it sound trivial when you know it isn't. You keep talking about how we just need a little more time, but you're not the one having to struggle.
We have all had to make sacrifices for the greater good. Mantle has had to bear a lot of the burden, yes, but
They're bearing all of it. The longer this
Yeah.
waiting game goes on, the harder each day gets for people down there. And now you want to send in more soldiers? You can't force people to fall in line. If you do that, you'll just be trading all of these problems for the Grim.
I understand Nora, but we have to understand Ironwood's position as well. It's not easy to make those decisions.
Please, General Ironwood. Squeezing Mantle this way, that kind of division plays right into Salem's hands. That's why Tyrion is here framing you.
Right. The reason we called you here in the first place. You're sure this was the man you saw?
Tyrion Callows was accused of murders all across Anima. A homicidal maniac who escaped justice when his prison transport was attacked by Grimm. After that, he was never seen again.
Damn.
Well, he works for Salem, and he's here.
If we ever had any doubts Atlas was Salem's next target, I think those are officially out the window.
But now we have a suspect. We can tell the people.
That a long-lost serial killer is loose in Mantle and the military has no idea where he is. Might make things worse before they get better.
I am so sick of secrets. If we just told everyone about Amity, about Salem.
we can't! If we talk about Amity now, we risk Salem's forces, who we know are here, working to sabotage it. If we tell them about Salem now, we risk falling to the Grim before we can reunite remnants. We have to finish the tower. I want Robyn Hill in custody. We can offer her a deal if she gets Mantle to cooperate.
We'll figure it out.
Anyone not assisting with Robyn needs to focus on Tyrion. I want to know who he's working with, where he's hiding, what he's planning, and how exactly that video of Penny got all over my kingdom.
What?
Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh damn.
Looks like we're approaching 51st.
Thanks again for the assist on this.
Oh, there's Yangham
We
Lake.
may all be split between different trucks, but we need to be ready to act as one in case Robyn's team takes the bait. If your truck is hit, pursue immediately. Everyone else will move in as fast as possible. Going radio silent. Over.
Do you
Gonna be like decoys.
think we should have told Ironwood about Salem before he put so much on the line for Amity?
Sounds like you do.
I trust RWBY, but I think he deserves to know what he's stepping into. We all did.
There's so many
Don't
secrets.
agree.
Look around. The embargo, the military presence, the restrictions on assembly. He's a bit prone to overreacting.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. Still, he didn't have a lot of good options.
I'm not sure there are many good options left for any of us anymore. Keeping secrets, taking lives, it makes you wonder how far we're going to have to go to keep doing the right thing.
Blake, we did what we had to do.
I know,
Talking about Adam.
but next time, I want to make sure we don't have to. And I can tell you, ambushing a huntress who's just trying to help isn't an option I'm thrilled about choosing.
Yeah.
Then maybe we shouldn't.
How is she doing?
She's confused, scared.
Yes,
have
reasons to.
recorded visual data shortly. That should prove her innocence, but the damage has already been done. The things people are saying about her. If Penny hadn't been there, Robyn would be.
Damn, the
I
situation.
don't think Robyn was their target. Salem's goal has always been to divide us. I think Penny was exactly where
happening.
they wanted her. Just like at the Vital Festival.
And just like back then, someone is using our own technology against us. This
What?
doctored footage
You need to
of
stop
Penny
him.
came from her work all around Mantle. Stolen straight from our surveillance network.
Ugh, hacking. Technology. Oh, why can't people just do what they used to and fight to the death? A lot simpler if you ask me.
Well, if we're dealing with the same enemy from Beacon, hacking into Mantle's system would be simple. Fortunately, the rest of Atlas is running on an upgraded network.
And how would someone get access to that network?
Well, only a few people have clearance. Ironwood, the Council, our cybersecurity and surveillance leads, and maybe a select few who oversee critical systems like sewage or the heating grid.
The heating grid run in partnership with the Schneedas company.
What are you thinking?
I don't know yet, but something isn't right. Understatement of the century.
Yep.
And how are you doing?
There's a lot of things that are not right.
Weeks, I'd have likely collapsed by now. Getting a communications tower into the sky seems impossible on its own, but now, to think of what people want to do to my girl.
Wow, or Penny.
Even if the worst does happen, you can always reactivate her again. So maybe try not to worry so much.
There's a reason why Penny is the only one of her kind. When the General first challenged us to find the next breakthrough in defense technology, most of my colleagues pursued more obvious choices. I was one of the few who believed in looking inward for inspiration.
You wanted a protector with a soul.
I did. And when General Ironwood saw her, he did too. Much to my surprise, the Penny Project was chosen over all the other proposals.
Why would you be surprised? You created an artificial aura.
Not quite.
Whoa.
You gave her part of yours?
Really?
Yes. And each time I rebuild Penny, it takes a little more.
It's like he's sacrificing himself to keep her working.
I won't be able to.
Damn. I had no idea. This is really
We'll
big.
find whoever's responsible. I promise.
Oh, he's right there in that picture. In the right. He actually worked there as well.
Scramble! No,
wait! They found her.
Split up and regroup at the hideout.
They need to talk though. Damn, that's nice. We know Blake got the moves. Like a ninja cat.
Please stop. We just want to.
Oh, that was cool. It really goes back to, oh, that combo, that was insane. Reminds us a bit of the fight against Adam.
He'll have to send more than a couple of kids.
He is. Stopping the trucks alerted the ASOPs. We don't have long before they arrive, so please listen to us. You need to know the truth.
You're stalling.
Oh.
Amity Coliseum, all these supplies, they're for a new communications tower.
That doesn't make any sense.
A new tower means the kingdoms can
I know
finally...
what the tower means, fisticuffs.
Really?
One of you take my hand.
What?
You said time is short. Either take it, or I'm gone.
Their semblance.
Tell me again, what is Ironwood building out in the tundra?
A new communications tower.
The light detector.
Trying to help everyone.
Whoa!
You're telling the truth.
Is that our semblance?
Why keep that a secret?
Because he doesn't know who he can trust. Atlas isn't out to get anybody. The people murdering civilians in Mantle are just trying to make it look that way. And if those same people learned about Amity, they'd do everything in their power to destroy it.
So who are they? Who's actually behind this?
Yang, Blake, where are you?
We can't tell you that part yet.
Bullshit.
Look, we are trusting you.
She almost
Trust
said it.
us when we say that Amity Tower needs to stay a secret until it's done. We just need a little more time. Run! We'll throw them off!
But now she
I won't
knows.
Stop until I know the whole truth.
She knows that Blake is telling the truth. Not everything, but they're not lying. It's insane that she is actually like a lie detector. Not machine, but she has that power.
I hoped bring you down here and might jog some memories. After all, it was your idea to use the staff to lift Atlas off the ground.
I thought gravity dust kept Atlas afloat.
Is that where the staff is?
But with the staff, we have a constant, seemingly limitless energy source.
It's the vault.
Oz once speculated it could take us as high as we wanted. To tell you the truth, that served as the inspiration for the Amity project. Get a communication tower up in the sky, higher than the Grimm can survive. So we never lose contact with each other again.
But you're not using the staff to raise Amity.
The staff can only be used for one purpose at a time. We're going to have to do Amity the old-fashioned way, dust and all.
It feels strange, knowing a part of me helps come up with all this.
You'll get used to it, I'm sure. Eventually, you don't even know who's who anymore.
Yeah, that's something that he doesn't want to happen.
We did know we see eye to eye, but I wish I could ask Oscar what he thought of all this.
Well, I can tell you what I think. The path you're heading down, where you're the only one with the answers, where you do the thing you think is right no matter the cost, it's not going to take you anywhere good.
We have to stop Salem. Nothing matters more.
Some things matter more, I think.
Doing it
Our
right.
humanity. It's what makes us different from her.
Sometimes I worry that's her greatest advantage. Without humanity, does she still feel fear? Does she ever hesitate? When Salem hit Beacon, even with all my ships, all of my soldiers, I was no match for her. I've never felt so helpless. The way she told me she was there.
Damn. That symbol. Like remembering what happened before.
It's okay to be afraid. You just can't let that fear control you.
It's a surprise attack as well, so...
I am not going to end up like Lionheart. Do you believe in me?
I do believe in you. But not only you. I think the best thing you could do is sit down and talk with the people you're most afraid to.
Yeah.
Now you are starting to sound like him.
He's right, though. People understand each other when they talk, so it's a better thing to do. But it's not easy to be in his position, again.
Winter.
Having to make all of these decisions. Who is that from Jacques? He's probably going to fire him or something.
What's going on?
It looks like you're getting your wish.
My father's first act. We've all been invited to dinner, where the general will be defending his seat on the council.
Yep. I saw something like that coming. Damn, this next episode, if it's about this like dinner, and having him defending his position, it's not gonna end well. I really like what Blake and Yang are doing though. Trying to do something different, not like doing as like exactly as Ironwood wants. They know that the other girl, she's not a threat. She's not like a bad person. She's just trying to protect her people. And right now she's doing things by what she believes in. I mean, from what she saw. So we can't blame her. And I really like that Blake and Yang are taking this path of like trying to talk with her and showing her the truth and not hiding everything from her. And yeah, eventually maybe they'll be able to gain her trust fully and get to work together. And right now we might be seeing some really big changes, and we just saw how Ironwood was telling Oscar that his wish might come true, like that part about him going and talk with the people that he's most afraid of. So I'm expecting this reunion to not go this well for Ironwood. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we are probably just going to see Jacques acting like a douche again. And yeah, it's not going to be pleasant to watch. And I'm kind of like I don't know, this whole situation might really like backfire on Jacques as well. Like, I don't know if this whole situation, if Ironwood gets sent to Mantle, for example, I don't know what would like might happen to him. He might start seeing things differently and taking like a different approach to his plan and all of that. So I don't know. It's probably, I'm not entirely sure, but from what I'm like seeing, it's most likely that he's going to lose his position and he won't have this power to like organize his plan to build that the Amity Tower, like to making that communication tower basically. And yeah, it's going to be like probably a different course of actions, and he's probably going to have to work with these people in Mantle. And in the end, I don't know, they just really need to bring Jacques down and what's along with it, because they are now working together, as we know, and they have to find some way to bring them down, basically. I still, like, I keep thinking about Cinder and Neo as well, as we knew that they were also going somewhere. They were, like, transforming that ship into an Atlas airship, and I don't know exactly if they were going for Atlas or Mantle, but it's quite curious that they haven't showed up yet. So I'm curious to see when they're going to appear. I don't even know if they will appear in this volume or not, but that would be great. But yeah, I'm kind of wondering what's going to be their influence. What are they going to do together? Are they going to like do as they want, basically seeking revenge and like doing something for both of them and not for Salem? Because we know that Cinder is acting on her own. She doesn't really care about this Cinder plan. So yeah, it's going to be nice to see when that happens. And yeah, right now we have this situation in our hands, and yeah, it was also really insane to discover this story about Penny and how she has a soul. Like, to discover that it was basically her father, like that scientist, who gave part of his soul to create Penny's one. That's just insane, and I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, we all knew that she had some kind of soul, but we never knew like why that was happening, like how they made it. And now we have the not the confirmation, but basically they unveiled that. So he gave part of his life to create Penny's one. So that's really admirable, and it just means that he keeps sacrificing himself in order to keep Penny working. So yeah, it's a really deep story, and I really loved it, and just makes me love this guy even more. I mean, he sees Penny as his daughter, and she is. So yeah, it's a really good relationship that they have, and I'm just really happy to have discovered this, to be honest. So there's that, and yeah, now we just have to wait and see, wait for next week to discover where this reunion, like how this reunion is going to go, and what they're going to decide as well. I'm also not sure who's going to be present. Probably everyone who has a seat in the council, but I don't know if. Imagine if Watts was there as well. That would be quite surprising. So I don't really believe that he's going to be there, but we'll see. I have no idea, so I'm really curious to find out, and we'll eventually discover that next week, hopefully. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to this episode, and if you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. And you can also join my Discord and my Patreon if you want to get early access to my full reactions. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week for the next episode, so see ya!